Quiet, everybody. Going to get coffee and chessboard with a big, hey, how you doing? Look at this parking spot. Wow. 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. 2-hour parking. How did I get so lucky? Oh my God. This taxi driver's gonna try and push me out of this spot. Ooh, I think we're docked. Jimmy. Wanna go get some coffee? Yeah, like a dog is gonna really like get coffee. I'm talking to myself, by the way. No, I'm talking to Jimmy right here. There's Jimmy, there's Stella. Say hi, Jimmy. Say hi. Woof, woof, woof. Doggy. Coffee. So apparently there's a thing on an app, Pokemon game, and man, I tell you, there's no end to people out right now with their face stuck in their phones. There's one right there with a child, right in front of us. I mean, you don't even have to wait very long for somebody to show up. Stop on red, crosswalk. I've seen guys on skateboards, and when I was having coffee, it must have been about 20 people showed up, and I'm not exaggerating. You know, about an hour showed up. Here's another one on their phone. They're not texting anymore. They're not making phone calls. They're playing a game. I don't know what to think about it, but because you know, on the one hand, it's getting people out. I mean, they're not sitting at home, and you know, it's healthy to walk around and see the city. But I mean, people are just so absorbed by this thing. There's two more, and two more. Oh my gosh! And there's another one. It's the zombie apocalypse. It's the Pokemon apocalypse. Uh-oh. I better pay attention. I'll be running into the back of a bus. Be afraid. Be very afraid. Let's see how many more we can see. And we're not even on a very busy pedestrian area at a busy time of day. I've seen a few of them out with their dogs, so that's kind of cool, you know, that just play a game and walk the dog while we're at it. Instead of the dog sitting at home going, I say that because I've seen more people out with dogs. Maybe that's because it's a nice day. Maybe I'm just assuming, you know. They say about assuming, make an ass out of you and me. All right, we're no longer on a really busy stretch of road. For pedestrians, that is. I mean, I bet you if I went to the dog park, this Penn Valley Dog Park, everybody be with their noses stuck in their phones. There might even be people in there without dogs. Who knows? All right, let me see if I can go to a busier intersection, because this is amusing me, actually. Amusing me. When I was at therapy, the intern there, Steve, was showing me this game, and you know, old fogey, not up on the latest trends with you kids. It looked kind of cool, looked kind of interesting. But he said, you know, apparently some people have walked into things, you know, fallen into holes and broken bones, walked into. So maybe I ought to be careful. I don't want to be like owing somebody's big, huge hospital bill because they walked out in front of my car. Okay, yep, there's a guy on a bicycle doing it. Now, how do you know that people are doing it? Well, because it just seems to be like this extra absorption into that little square world that is the smartphone. It's a beautiful night. I should actually roll the windows down. Let me turn my mic around so I don't have the rumbling and bumping noises. I mean, I'm sure, you know, you hear that, but oh, what can you do? I can buy a more expensive mic, but I'm not going to. Nobody here on phones. They're all here to play softball. Oh, what a beautiful night. Stella. Where's your Jimmy? Jimmy! Jimmy! Just took the doggies to the doggy park, and now I'm going to go back through because my memory ran out on my iPhone, so now I got the good camera, a nice wide angle lens so we can see stuff. And let me roll windows down, turn the air down. Sure that's plugged in right. And that's plugged in right. Ooh, I need to turn the mic on the inside of the seat belt so the wind noise. Now on the way down here I saw probably a conservative estimate 50 people, I think, playing a game on their phones. Pokemon. Was it Pokemon Go? That's a conservative estimate. It probably was closer to 100. Now I'm not seeing any. I'm not sure about those people. Well, I went, nope, there's a couple. I went down, there's another one. There's some kids maybe. There's two actually. I went downtown and there was a corner of maybe 10 people and every one of them had their noses in their phones. It was pretty funny. Getting close to where I need some lights on the subject. The boorish subject. There's a guy with a phone walking like he's looking for something in virtual reality and in the real world. There's a no end of people. If this gets people out walking their dogs, it's a good thing, even though they're kind of maybe neglecting their dogs because they're like walking, got a hand on the leash and the other hand on the phone. Now I'm going to come into an area here where I'd be really surprised if I see people walking around with a phone because it's not a very pedestrian friendly area. Although there's a lot of people who walk across Broadway Bridge. I think from Harlem. It's a little neighborhood up here called Harlem. Not Harlem, New York. Harlem neighborhood of Kansas City. Beautiful neighborhood, beautiful night. It is just a shame that the phone memory ran out before I came upon Union Station. Union Station's always very pretty this time of night. They're on their phones. Oh, it's the Pokemon apocalypse. Maybe it's a secret plot by an alien race of beings to get us so absorbed in something that they can invade and we won't even notice it. We're being set up for it. Woo. That's what Pokemon was all about. That's the real secret behind the game. They're actually an alien race. I'm, of course, showing my complete ignorance. I know nothing about the game, so... And honestly, I don't have much of an inclination to find out. Sorry, I can't be a Pokemon zombie. I'm not in the club. Yet another club that I'm just completely left out of. I know, I'm not cool enough to be Pokemon. That's it. Oh, I was going to say, look, a normal human being just walking, but it looked like she was grasping something in her hand. It was probably one of them devices. I just saw a skateboarder who just so happened to be skateboarding. Oh, there's somebody who just so happens to be talking on the phone. Imagine doing that these days. Oh, what? Talking on the phone? I hope it's not the Pokemon. I hope that when I go home and my wife comes home from work, she's not like, look at this great little game I found. Oh no. Wow, there's people in a bar drinking. Cool. It didn't look like any of them were deeply absorbed into a phone. Oh, there's one of them. I don't know, he may be texting. Who knows? You know, it'll be like, I don't mean to make light of things like this, but there might be like things like car crashes and people hurting themselves badly or killing themselves or others and things. And then we'll be saying, do you remember when the good old days when it was only people texting and driving that did this. Now they're playing games and driving. I hope people have more sense than that, but I guess my lack of faith in the human race is showing, and it's not the human race as a whole, but just, I guess in any representative population of people, there are always a number of people who will take things way too far. I guess I'm sounding judgy when I say that, but I don't know. Maybe we can call them the Pokemon extremists. They love Pokemon more than they love life itself. Woo-hoo. Green arrow. Is this going to become the summer of Pokemon Go? Now, I don't generally like things like this. There are positives, there are negatives to it I can see, but I don't generally like commenting on popular culture or trends or anything. But so I guess I would say that probably in a day or so I'll have burned out on it and just get really sick of it. But it is quite the phenomenon right now. I mean, it's within a day of hearing about it, there are so many people just like doing it. Pokemon Route 66 edition. You know, my phone died, so it's pretty much literally talking to myself, not like the normal talking to myself that I always do when I pretend that there are people watching this stuff, and I had this idea that it would be neat if we could do it like a historic thing. Please don't be driving and playing with your phone at the same time. Well, anyway, I got to go, got things to do, so hee hee.